Arboretum students. I'm going to share a story with you today called The Story of the Oyster and the Butterfly, the Coronavirus and Me. And the story talks about being able to find positive ways to handle difficult situations, or when you're feeling strong emotions, like maybe if you're sad or mad or frustrated. Sometimes those feelings can be kind of difficult to deal with, and what are some positive and really good things we can do to handle those feelings. So the story is specifically about kind of responding to the coronavirus, which is why we're learning from home, or we can't all be in school all day. And for some students, that has been really difficult. For some students, they said, oh, it's fine. I get to sleep in a little bit. I get help at home from parents with my work. And for some students, it hasn't been too challenging. But for some students, it has been difficult and continues to be difficult. So we thought it would be a great lesson for us to do for our Wellness Wednesday and guidance time. And the book talks about different powers, and those are the positive ways to handle these difficult situations. So another word for that is having coping skills, or you can cope. That means, it's a big word that means you can deal with this situation. There's no situation that is so difficult and hard that you can't find a way to work through it. So this story has some really great suggestions, and I'm going to read it to you. The Story of the Oyster and the Butterfly. Do you know what oysters do when something that bothers them and irritates them comes into their life? They use their special powers to cover the bothering stuff with layer and layers of powerful stuff until they turn it into a pearl. And do you know what the caterpillar does when it has to go through tough stuff and changes? It spends time with itself inside a cocoon and changes into a butterfly. At its most difficult moments, the caterpillar is actually building its wings. The coronavirus has come into our lives, not only for you, but for people all over the world. However, we can do what the oyster does and create a pearl from it, or what the caterpillar does and build our wings. Having to deal with difficult things can bring lots of feelings, thoughts, and sensations in our bodies. We may feel lonely, scared, angry, or frustrated. We may feel sad because we miss friends or family. We may have mixed up thoughts, and our bodies may feel really tense. That means the opposite of relaxed, so you feel very tight and not relaxed. Feelings need to come out and tell their stories. Can you draw a picture of your feelings now? Maybe since we're listening to the story, you can think about how you're feeling right now instead of drawing it. Let's think about those thoughts that we are having now. Think about the feelings and sensations you are having in your body. Does your body feel like a noodle and you're relaxed, or hard like a rock and you may be tense? Does it feel light or heavy? Let's listen to what your body is saying. When we don't feel good, we can do what the oyster does. We can use our powers and create our own pearls. Let's see how we can use our powers. And these are those coping skills, those good things we can do when something is hard. Power number 1, we can use the powers of our bodies to stay safe. We can do the things that will keep us far away from the coronavirus. So a couple of those things: we are wearing masks when we're around other people, and we social distance. So we try to keep a good distance from others. Power number 2, We can visit our feelings to hear what their voices are saying. If our feelings are getting too big, too hot, or too cold, we can do things to cool them down or warm them up. Ignoring feelings does not help us. Remember, feelings are messengers, and the more we listen and talk about them, the better we will feel in the long run. Power number 3, we can be kind and loving towards our feelings and have compassion for them. Compassion is another word for caring. Power number 4, we can visit our needs and see what will make us feel better. Do we need a hug or someone to tell us that things are going to be okay? Do we need to talk to someone we trust? Power number 5, we can use the power of breathing. Deep breathing can help calm our minds, hearts, and bodies. Power number 6, we can cocoon like the caterpillar and spend time with ourselves and the people and pets really close to us. The butterfly reminds us that in difficult moments, we may just be building our wings. Power number 7, maybe we can find space to connect with our team of helpers. Can you think about who you want to have on your team of helpers? A person, pet, stuffed animal, friend, superhero, or anyone else that feels safe to have on your very own team. These are people you can always ask for help from. Power number 8. Then you can use the butterfly dance by crossing your hands on your chest and tapping back and forth. Power number 9. You can dance like a gorilla while you think about a happy moment in your mind. Let's tap your chest back and forth. Power number 10. You can also find a place where you feel happy and safe. Can you think about where that place may be? When you have it, let's stomp our feet as we march together. Power number 11. We can sing, we can hum, we can dance, or we can jump. A lot of times doing some physical activity helps us to feel better about situations. Power number 12. We can connect through our hearts. All we have to do is imagine a long cord that goes from your heart all the way to the hearts of the people that we love. Because the biggest power we have is the power to love ourselves and love the ones around us. In many places around the world, we might not be able to touch each other or be really close to our friends and family during this time. However, we can still carry them and be very close to them in our hearts. Remember, we are full of special powers inside. We are not alone. We can join in and use all of our powers and coping skills as one, build our wings, and create many pearls together. Now let's create the oyster and butterfly song. We can invite all of our feelings because even when we are sad and scared, we can still sing together. Remember, you are not alone. We are all in this together. The end. That story was written by Anna Gomez. So we wanted to share this story with you to teach you some really positive, good things that you can do if a situation is difficult or you are having some feelings like you're feeling sad or frustrated or scared. And the story had some really great suggestions about what were some powers we have inside of us. So some of those powers might be using our deep breathing exercises that we've learned about, maybe finding your team of helpers and getting a hug or some reassurance that everything's going to be okay, and all those really great things that we can do. So On the seesaw activity, it has some choices for you to respond to the story that we read and choosing a way that you would like to respond to the activity. So I look forward to hearing from all of your responses and see you next week.